Royalty has been crowned for this year's 4-H fair in Dubois County. More on that, plus Huntingburg Mayor Denny Spinner is this week's guest on Monday with the Mayor, and my interview with Miss and Team Miss Dubois County tonight on Inform. All of that and much more is up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. We begin tonight with authorities continuing to review a head-on collision between a pickup truck and an ATV in Perry County that left a Birdseye man with serious injuries. At around 6 o'clock last night, Indiana conservation officers say 19-year-old Aaron Huff of Birdseye had been riding an ATV near the intersection of Chaplin and October Roads when he collided head-on with a pickup truck being driven by Richard Lawrence of Ferdinand. Huff was airlifted to University of Louisville Hospital for treatment of severe head trauma and broken bones. Lawrence sustained minor injuries. Now, authorities say alcohol likely factored into this crash. Huff was not wearing a helmet or any safety equipment. Conservation officers are once again encouraging folks to always wear helmets and necessary safety gear when riding an ATV. Indiana State Police are assisting with the investigation. A Birdseye man was jailed after what can only be described as a car sale gone bad. Just before 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon, Huntingburg police were called to a residence in the 500 block of North Washington Street after intimidation was reported. Upon arriving at the residence, police talked with 45-year-old Ramon Segura of Birdseye. Segura told officers that 20-year-old Tony Laws, also of Birdseye, had come at him with a knife after an argument over the sale of a vehicle. Laws tossed the knife into the backyard before police arrived and later admitted to having the knife. However, he denied intimidating Segura with it. HPD learned from a witness that Laws was operating the vehicle involved in this dispute as well. Laws also had never gotten his driver's license. Laws was arrested and booked into the Dubois County Security Center. He is charged with intimidation with a deadly weapon and operating a motor vehicle without ever receiving a license. The news is all good news for Jasper Engines and Transmissions, especially when it comes to employee stocks. According to a blog post on the company's website, Jasper Engines has seen a staggering 72% growth in the price of its shares over the last year. For 2014, a share of Jasper stock for employees is now worth $141.45. For 2013, that came in at just $82.46. Now, Jasper Engines and Transmissions introduced its Employee Stock Ownership Plan, or ESOP, back in 2009. In that first year, stocks traded at just $2.30 a share. Prior to this announcement, the record for growth occurred between 2012 and 2013. As mentioned, 2013 stock shares had been at $82.46 each, whereas 2012 shares had been at $53.33 each. The announcement on the shares was made during an employee meeting held last Thursday at the company's Power Drive facility. Though much has been made of drug abuse locally in light of recent drug busts, state lawmakers are also joining in on the fight. New research shows that opioids are now being abused at a growing rate. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the national rate for drug overdoses has more than tripled since 1990. The growth is also being found here in Indiana, and a report as of 2012 shows that of the overdose deaths in the Hoosier State, nearly 21% of them are due to opioid drugs. Now, lawmakers have made it easier for people to get access to overdose intervention drugs such as Narcan. That drug can reverse opioid-related overdoses and is safe, effective, and non-addicting. Senate Enrolled Act 406 makes Narcan prescriptions available to anyone who is at risk of an opioid overdose. It also requires doctors who prescribe Narcan to educate and train patients on drug overdose response and treatment, along with providing information on drug addiction treatment and referrals to local treatment programs. Now, local lawmakers, including District 48 Senator Mark Messmer, are touting the new efforts. Messmer says the new legislation also reduces the fear of legal action should something go wrong.
Senate Enrolled Act 406 provides additional civil liability to those who administer Narcan in order to encourage its use and help protect those who administer the life-saving medication from frivolous lawsuits. Hoosiers will now be better equipped to save their loved ones' lives and potentially help them understand the harm they are bringing upon themselves and others.
As always, you can contact Messmer's office directly with your questions and concerns. The 2015 4-H Fair is just 2 weeks away here in Dubois County, and royalty has been crowned. This year's Miss Dubois County is 18-year-old Moriah Fleck of St. Anthony. Fleck also was honored as the most photogenic of the contestants. The first runner-up was Emily Guxell of Schnellville, with Taylor Hope of Kiana as second runner-up. Jessica Hillsmeyer of Huntingburg was third runner-up, and Jade Huffman of Celestine was Miss Congeniality. Now, of course, last night they also crowned the 2015 Teen Miss Dubois County, and 16-year-old Lauren Treader of Ferdinand took home this year's crown. Melanie Roberts of Dubois was the first runner-up. The 2015 Dubois County 4-H Fair is coming up July 14th through the 18th. Now, you will be able to watch the 4-H Queen pageants here on 18 WJTS. The pageants will air next Tuesday, July 7th at 7:30 p.m. following the local 7 o'clock newscast. Pageants will then re-air Sunday, June 12th at 2 o'clock. And finally tonight, investigators have not yet determined what caused the fire that destroyed a southwestern Indiana meat processing plant. Officials say about 9 fire departments from around Greene County worked for several hours Thursday night into early Friday after the blaze broke out at the Bloomfield Processing Company. Switz City Fire Chief Brian Woodall says that no one was hurt in the fire, but the building about 25 miles southwest of Bloomington was a total loss. Woodall says arson is not suspected, although an investigation by the State Fire Marshal's office is still ongoing. All right, coming up after the break, Denny Spinner is next for Monday with the Mayor, and later, more with this year's Dubois County 4-H Fair royalty. We're back after this.